that 1996, Prince Charles and Princess Diana got divorced. More than 4% of the UK population got internet access. Mitja Popovic, Serbian painter, died. And I moved to London and officially became a British Serb. My name is Maja Jordan. I was born in Belgrade, and my love for music led me to become a classical pianist. My other passion is promoting Serbia and Serbian culture, so I joined Serbian Council of Great Britain when it was founded in 2004 and have been an active member ever since. In the unusual circumstances in which we find ourselves in 2020, instead of self-isolating, the Serbian Council invites you to connect and share your story with others. We have different life experiences, but we have one thing in common. We were either born in Serbia or born in Britain but have Serbian origins, or are connected with Serbia in some way. So, what is your story? Let's find out what a couple story will reveal. Welcome! Dobrodošli na Čašicu razgovora. David Vujanic, popular YouTuber known as Vuj, is actually British Serb, and it's our guest today. David, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
It's our pleasure to have different people in our program, and you are presenting younger generation, so probably your story is slightly different than some other people. But can you tell us your story, how you came to England and how that all happened?
Well, my family left Knin, which is now Croatia, in '95 during the Oluja exodus of most of the Serbs from Croatia, and we left to Belgrade, and then we went there and stayed with family. And then in 1998, me and my mom, we applied for asylum in the UK. We managed to, illegal ways, but eventually we got to the UK, and then my dad was already here because he had a Croatian passport, but we didn't, and we got to the airport, and then we just applied for, came here as refugees, asylum seekers, and yeah, we settled in the UK, and that's how we got here. That's how we got here in the United Kingdom.
So you came very young, and you have your childhood really in England. Tell me how your Serbian influenced your life here in that time.
I mean, it was interesting growing up with like Serbian identity in the UK, because we came in '98, and then in '99, obviously the war in Kosovo broke out, and the media representation here, unfortunately, what was happening in Kosovo, it was very, very bad, and a lot of Serbs had a bad reputation. So I think it was strange because you're young and you don't really understand so much. I was maybe 6 years old, 7 years old. You don't really understand everything that's going on around you, and just kind of seeing everything that was going on and the negative connotations of being Serbian was pretty felt. My best friends when I came here in the UK were two Albanian twins from Kosovo. So I didn't understand this concept of nationality and hating someone else because of where they're from. But I did get some comments like, don't be friends with him, he's Serbian, stuff like that. You did get it, and it made you you were just maybe a little bit confused about everything that was going on and didn't understand why there were these negative perceptions when you're just you don't really look at these things like that so young. But I'm grateful that I was lucky to kind of grow up in London, which is so mixed and multicultural, and from a young age I realized that you can be friends with anyone depending on who they are. Not depending, it doesn't matter which country they're from or background. And even in that time, when there was so much tension between these two ethnic groups, my best friends were Kosovo, Albanian Kosovans, And yeah, I was lucky in that sense, and it kind of put the seed in me from a young age not to judge and hate anyone from any different background, but also um, to understand from a young age. I had to understand that you're going to have to deal with negative perceptions in some way, and I try not to judge those people as well. It was tough in certain, maybe when I was growing up a bit older, when I started to kind of look into, the wars and, certain injustices even that Serbs went through. You always want to tell, that side of the story when someone has like a other perception. You're like, well, no, but this is also what happened in the past. And you go to World War One and World War Two, and then you go to everything that kind of the Serbs went through as maybe a collective, irrelevant of these governments that came in the 90s, which in general in the Balkans were very, very, I'd say, bad for the whole region. But as time has gone on, I've accepted all of this, and you have to find peace in yourself and live life. Just live life knowing that you can't please everyone. So it was interesting. Maybe also, I remember when I first came to the UK, I wrote my name when I came to school in Cyrillic.
Yeah.
Write your name. And I was like, okay. And then I wrote it in Cyrillic, and then the teacher she looked at the paper and did not understand what the hell I was doing. And then she said, no. And then wrote it in
so you had to learn a lot Latin.
Yeah, I had to learn the alphabet here as well. So there was definitely challenges. But yeah, I was lucky. My family, as I said, we stayed in like hostels at the beginning. Loads of refugees from everywhere, from Africa, from Kosovo, from the Middle East, Iraq, Iran. So from a young age, I always grew up around so many different people from different places, and that's how even when I went to school here, I moved around quite a lot as well, and just from everywhere. I didn't even have an English friend. I came to England, but I didn't have one English friend for maybe 20 years. Growing up in London. So, I've had a very interesting experience, but it's a unique one. But I was lucky. I was very lucky that my roulette table board, it gave me some good, I'd say, numbers and options, and it's made me the person I am today. And of course, my Serbian identity is very important to me, but I'll never divide people by where they're from. That's just something that I've learned from a young age.
Obviously, that influenced your further work as YouTuber because immigration is your main topic, at least was at the beginning. Now you did move further on to other things. But how you became YouTuber, that's interesting for all these youngsters, as they all try to be YouTubers. And I was watching your videos at the very beginning, and they were very different than nowadays. And that one with the Hoover and with the edit. So youngsters obviously start very young, usually in their bedrooms. And they are hoping that one day they will have lots of followers. And there is that even possibility to buy followers, subscribers. So, so quite a few are doing that. But you broke up that barrier and became famous. So tell us how that happened in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call it fame. I wouldn't say it's famous, but a lot of people have come across some of my work and my videos. I mean, for me, and I've told you this story before, it was I was always the kind of class clown in school. So I was always the one making the jokes and being silly and getting in trouble for not concentrating enough. And I was good at school. I did really well. I got a degree. I got my GCSEs, A levels. It was all fine. But I just had this energy. I wanted to make people laugh. And I was meant to go to university, and I applied for a few universities, but I only put one option on my options. You're meant to put two. I only put one, and it was Birmingham University. And then I didn't get in. I was so confident I was going to get in, but I didn't get in. I got BBB, but I needed ABB from my A levels. And I checked my results and I was off by 1 mark on my, I think it was psychology or politics, I'm not sure. 1 mark from an A to get into Birmingham University. And then I said to myself, okay, I'm not gonna go through clearing and pick another university. I said, yeah, I'm just gonna take a year out. I'm gonna take a year out and then just make some videos and see what happens. And I remember telling my friends, I was like, nah, forget it. I'm just gonna make videos. I've always thought it'd be funny to make some videos. And this is just when YouTube started. So there was a few kind of, funny clips going around. There was no adverts on YouTube. There was no Instagram. It was just, just you put videos there and that's it. So in the early stages, it was very pure. There was no kind of economic, motivation. I just started making these silly videos in my room, a few of them. But then for me, I always wanted to make music videos, funny music videos. And I grew up, listening to in London, like hip hop and just in general, music videos were very interesting to me. And so I made this character, Bricka, who, it's just from my story. My dad's a builder. So I made this like builder character who's a rapper, who's like, not like Borat, but influenced more from like my London roots, which is, growing up around mainly Black culture, African, Caribbean influences on me were big as well, US hip hop. So I made this rapper who's a builder. And I made some parody songs of like a big US hip hop artist. And people just started picking it up and they go, oh, this is funny. And it was just playing on the stereotypes of like a typical Eastern European builder at that time. And I guess it's funny because now there's even more Eastern Europeans. Like when I did it, there was, the Polish slowly started arriving, and that was the main kind of stereotype. But now you've got Bulgarian, Romanian, Polish, so many Eastern Europeans here. It was more like a take on my life because I used my dad's clothes, I used his tools when I filmed things, and it went pretty viral. It was like quite an original character. I did a few songs, did like the Gangman style, and that was really popular. That was probably my most famous video. And then even in Serbia they picked it up, put it in the papers. So I was a good character, but eventually I did get bored of doing it because, you can only play on the stereotypes so much before you start sort of like repeating yourself. So my mind kind of got like, okay, I finished this. Maybe I'll do it again. And I used to, do it once every 6 months or once every 5 months. I wouldn't do it so regularly. But then an opportunity came up because I love football. My friend Poet, who's from London, he's Jamaican. He called me and he said, oh, there's an audition for this football show on YouTube. It's a new football channel that they're launching. They're funded by like Google. Maybe you'll get some money from this. Maybe you'll get paid. And I said, yeah, let's do it. And I just started university. So I finished my year off. And then I did end up going to university. I picked a uni, which was, I did my retake. I got ABB. But I ended up going to a uni called Essex University. It had a good politics department. So I studied international relations, and I went there to study. It wasn't the best on the tables or as a university. It wasn't the greatest, but I wanted to be close to London so I could travel back and forth. And then, I went to uni.
So that topic seems to start like a fun thing, like putting your background and trying to find your way to get the audience to the Eastern European fun side. But further on, that topic really came alive in all media through Brexit, obviously. So you have been invited to some debates about it. So something seems to start as a fun, turned to be much more serious issue there. So I have been watching your debate with Katie Hopkins. So that was interesting to see because obviously there are two opposite opinions about that, and I will not go in that who thinks what and why, because also Serbian community is pretty much divided in that topic. But you are presenting one side of Serbian society here, like a working class, as you said. Your father was a builder, so that's one side. Are you planning maybe to present the other side, where it's not so funny and so specific, because there are some other experience with lots of our people working on universities and being like professors and all this, or that is really not.
I don't think so. Yeah, I mean, my mom is, she was a doctor and she's a very intelligent woman. But I don't know. I haven't really got any plans at the moment. Yeah, that was just the most, I guess, controversial character and just the easiest to get the attention. So I did it in that way, and back then it was much more vulgar and more like offensive, and you're trying to just get reactions.
Yeah, you get message easier, obviously, on that side. And then further on, you turn to football. And now I have to ask why people which support Red Star are always supporting Liverpool. Is it that because of red and white colors, or maybe something else?
I think it's more the fans, because Red Star have a huge fan base. The Delia, they have a huge history of this huge iconic fan base and amazing atmosphere. So for me, it was the reason I picked Liverpool. People always ask me that in the UK, why did you pick Liverpool? You're not from Liverpool. But I was like, look, I'm not from this country. So I think I have
you're right to pick anybody.
Whatever I want, because I'm not from here, so I don't have any ties to this country. I picked Liverpool because of like Michael Owen. But then also the fans. There was something similar there where the fans are much more authentic and they have a different style to most of the UK fans, the Scousers in Liverpool. And even culturally, when I started to meet people from Liverpool, I realized I picked the right team, because they're sort of similar to people from the Balkans. They're different. They're just, the way they are as people in general is very different to like an English person, a normal English person, or someone from London or Birmingham or Manchester. Liverpool Scousers, they love their city. It almost feels like a country to a lot of them, and they even have a saying: "We're not English, we're Scouse." And I know many of them don't even support England when they play in the big tournaments. So they're very, very, they're quite tribal, and they love where they're from. And I think I don't know, maybe somehow I managed to work that out from a young age, and it reminded me maybe of the Balkans a little bit, of how people
now I understand it better, because lots of my friends do ask me to bring them scarves or to bring them dresses and all this exactly from Liverpool. I'm not obviously into the football much, but I saw your collections of football kits, and it's very, very impressive, obviously, because you have so many things. Now, if you wore one, will that be Red Star or Liverpool? If you choose only one, your favorite?
I would choose Yugoslavia.
Yugoslav. Okay. So I have something to show you, which will possibly beat your collections. I have this dress, which is actually British, could be like a British Serbs combination. Right side is a British one, obviously, like rugby team, and the left side is a Serbian. So maybe something like that is missing in your collection.
Good idea. Yeah.
I think it definitely does, because it's all old single, but you're already double person. Now, any chance that you can guess whose dress is this one? On one side is number 7, but that's second number.
This looks like volleyball or basketball.
To be honest, I'm not sure, but there is some clue on the other side. It's somebody called Petrovic that must be number 17, because this is number 1, and there is a number 7 there, playing for Serbia.
I think it's volleyball or basketball.
Could be.
Football, because football shirts tend to be sleeves.
Okay, cool. So did my dress won against yours?
I don't think. Sorry,
not yet. I have to work harder. Okay,
I to choose from.
I'll try to work harder.
On your earlier question, I would pick Red Star. I would always pick any Serbian team over an English team, even if, Partizan, Vojvodina. For me, I'm not so, no, what's the word? I just support Serbian sports and Serbian people. So I don't care if it's Red Star, Partizan. I'm not, divided in this way. Like anyone, I'll support anyone.
Are you mixing a lot with the Serbs or not so much? Because I could see through your videos, probably these Eastern European-based videos, they are probably people coming from the same part of the world. Are they mostly Serbs, Polish, or other?
Not so much. Not so much. My audience, I'd say, is mainly, London, UK, big cities like, Manchester, from different parts of the world as well. So I think it's very mixed, the audience that I have.
What about the people that you are working and making videos? Okay, I see some Jamaicans, as you said, but are they the same or all sorts of nationalities?
All sorts, yeah. Like one time I had a Romanian guy film my videos, then I had a Russian guy, and I also had a Jamaican guy filming some stuff. I've worked with many people from Nigeria, many people from Ghana, Iraq. One of my good friends is from Iraq. In my school, my friends are from India, Pakistan, Kenya, Somalia.
So very international.
Very international. Very, very, very. Maybe like in the UK, I maybe have like, I know the Serbian community because I go to the church and I went to the school, the Sunday school. So I know many people and they're great people. A lot of the young kids are wonderful. So I know a lot of them, but I don't, hang out with many of them. Maybe like one or two, I'd say, are my maybe one is like a close friend. But I don't have many close friends from back home.
As you've been going to the Serbian school, obviously you're speaking Serbian and you're writing Serbian, I guess.
Yeah. I can read, I can write, but I can write, the cursive, so joined up. I can write that, and I can write the other one. But I haven't written in so long that sometimes now, when I try, I'm like, oh, I forget how to write. So
are you going to Serbia at all? Because your home is obviously here now, and it was here since you came. Are you going often or not so much?
Yeah, I go often, maybe like twice a year, once a year at least. Normally it joins with a football match. So if there's a football match, I go and try and watch a football match. But yeah, I do go. And sometimes I go to Croatia as well. I still have a grandma in Šibenik. We still have a home in Knin. I've been there a few times as well, but mainly in Belgrade because my grandma now one of my grandmas lives in Belgrade, one lives in Šibenik. So kind of back and forth, but mainly Belgrade.
And are you keeping Serbian customs or you're actually more English?
I wouldn't say more English. I don't... it's obviously Slava. You celebrate Slava and then enjoy.
Which Slava is your Slava?
Georgia, Sveti Georgia. So I do that, and that's about it, really. Christmas, of course, you kind of have a meal. You take it easy. You go to the church. So for the main, Christmas, Easter, I'll go to the church. Try to anyway. But more when I was younger, because now I'm a bit older. But my dad was very, very strong in this. Now I've grown up, I'm not as committed, but I make note of the day, and then I might just go to the church. But yeah, so not as much, but we still respect it.
So if you marry Serbian woman, then that's possible that will be boosted a little bit, but with
maybe it'll be boosted then. I don't know. There's not many Serbian girls here in London, so.
Oh, there are quite a few, but you have to look for them.
Yeah, I have to look for them, and I haven't been managing to find them. I haven't, to be honest with you.
Oh, okay, I will not go to that topic because we are public, so I will leave it for some other private talks. As you presented Eastern European people life in UK, how you will sell to others to come to England? if you would like to sell to Serbs, why they should come to England. Watching your videos, I don't think that they will be so tempted to work hard, just work and drink. That's partially tempting, but not so much. So how you will sell England to somebody who wants to move to England?
I don't know if I would sell it, to be honest with you. I think if you can have a good life back home, I would say stay back home.
Okay, so
if you can, of course, you know, here there's more opportunities here. So if someone's tempted by, you know, making a better career, maybe that's it really. I think if you financially, I think maybe it's good to come here and pursue something, and if you have some sort of, you know, dreams to do something. But if you can do, I know there's less opportunities in Serbia, and it's, you know, a tougher place to be, and economically it's not, you know, doing as well. But if you can live there, I would even choose to live there. Yeah, I prefer the lifestyle.
So that means that I should go other way around. You will probably try to sell Serbia to British people.
Exactly. I would. I like the lifestyle and the pace of life. Of course, only if you can manage to do something which fulfills you, which is tough in Serbia. It's tough to find that. But I prefer the pace. It feels more natural to me. I think here's very go. And to have a slower pace in London and the UK, I think is harder to do, especially London, because it's just non-stop, you know, always something happening, and it can be a bit intense. I'm lucky that I managed to kind of find my own pace for now, and I've lived kind of on my own terms. But I love going back home, and it feels like home, you know, when I go back to
would you consider maybe moving later on to live there?
I would consider it. For sure. I'm not sure when. Maybe in like 5 to 10 years time, I would go back, or maybe go back for a little bit, come back, or something like that. I know I love going back home, and yeah, it's just the pace, you know, the pace of life and the culture.
As at the moment, I assume that you are mostly doing your YouTube, and your life is dedicated to that. But do YouTubers retire? Because at the moment, there are only young people which are doing it. So I'm just trying to imagine, like in 20 years' time, what will happen with you guys? Like football players and sportsmen, they retire, they become trainers, or find different ways of life. So what would be predicted future for YouTubers of your age in 20 years time?
I have no clue. For me, it's I'd love to just retire as soon as possible. I don't really like working so much.
Okay, your job is working, but doesn't seem like a hard work. Seems like a fun work, like traveling football players all around the world. Sounds quite tempting.
No, it's intense. It is great. It is great. It has been great. I've had some amazing experiences, honestly. Some wonderful experiences. But I don't know what the retirement plan would be. I think, you know, I know some guys who are millionaires who literally, they could retire now, but they still keep going. I think for me, if I was to make $1 million, I would drop everything and retire. I would literally
and doing what?
buy some homes, maybe just buy some homes and just do property or something and just chill, just relax. I would like to live in this way, just relaxing, chilling, playing football, playing sports, you know, just kind of enjoying it, you know.
Okay, so if you retire, you will probably like to have some drink. Now, our program is called Cup of Stories. So you could have cup or Čašica razgovora. So which one will be more tempting to drink, from the cup or from the Čašica?
I think now the Čašica would do me good, because just to wake up a little bit. But usually I pick the cup because I like hot drinks. I don't really drink alcohol a lot, so I'd pick a hot drink.
Okay, so we will need that coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Okay, so we don't have to talk about that afternoon tea ritual because you're drinking coffee then altogether.
Yeah.
Good, lovely. As we have young people followers, what would be your advice for them? general advice from somebody who is popular. Maybe you don't think that you are famous, but you are definitely popular. So can you give for our younger people advice how to proceed further?
I think, try to follow it's a tough one, but, follow your intuition and what you'd want to do. Because for me, I don't regret going to university, but I probably wouldn't have gone. If I could choose again, that's probably one thing I wouldn't do. And there's many different avenues towards making something of yourself and making some sort of success. And if you can explore different options, there's so many options. You can do both. You can do university and not university. I think it's following what you want to do from a young age. And yeah, that's it. I think that's it really, is just follow what feels true to you. Your parents are obviously going to have your best interests at heart, but sometimes, they're not you, they're not going to live your life. And I think with education, it's good to take sometimes, if you don't know what you want to do, sometimes it's good to take a year out or 2 years out. You might find something in that time, and then you can always go to university, because I don't think it's expensive now as well, and it's not running away. So I think, education, we don't need to put so much pressure on it. But it's important to always be educating yourself. And I think life is the biggest educator, and to learn from people around you and learn from good people around you, people that are doing things, be inspired by your environment. I think that's something I'd say as well. But yeah, man, things come and they go, and you just have to learn how to go with the waves. So I think that's my advice. But everybody's got their own journey, so there's no wrong way. There's no wrong way. As you heard, I couldn't, I didn't get into uni, but then I got into uni, but then I made videos because I didn't go to uni, and something always happens. Something always works out, and just stay focused and take it easy on yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself.
Yes, Serbs do say, ko zna zašto je to dobro. Like a proverb saying, you don't know why is that good to happen, so when bad things happen, maybe they're not bad because they're opening the other door. So obviously that happened to you, and we are really pleased that you shared your story with us. David, thank you very much for joining us and giving us your life story to fill up our cup of story for this time. We wish you all the best and good luck, and we are really looking forward for more videos to follow and more projects. I hope that you will move further from the football, although you've been very, very good in that, interviewing really famous people like even David Beckham. Obviously that is something to do, but maybe some other issues in life will be quite good.
Yeah, maybe soon. Maybe
to see just how you will present it from our Balkan side. Thank you very much, and good luck.
Thank you. Vidimo se. Ćao.
Ciao.
Pozdrav.
Hello, I'm Brika, Eastern European man, and I see this on YouTube, Gangman style. So I think to myself, I do Eastern European style.
Let's go. Eastern Europeans, we are very, very poor. Balkans. Go to USA and Western Europe to get passport. Work very hard and send money back home. We speak bad English, but we like to swear a lot. Kurva dog, shit, jebem ti mamu. Eastern Europeans, when we have no food, Hungary. Then we go to the park and hunt for some food. Duck, crow, swan, taste very good. We have very nice women. Clean house, cheap price, 4 or 5 pounds. They do anything for you. They will fix your door, then tickle your dog's balls. No? Really? Okay. Eastern Europe style. Hey, sexy kurvas. Work, dream fight. Eastern Europe style. Hey, sexy kurvas. Work, dream fight. Eastern Europe style. Eastern Europeans, we are very, very violent. We like to do party, but then we do do some fighting. For example, Yugoslavia was a very nice country. Then people had war, now it's 5 different countries. We drink alcohol from the day we are born. Have vodka and beer with my cornflakes in the morning. Eastern Europeans, we like to wear tracksuit. Nike, Adidas, Reebok, Lonsdale, Fila, tracksuit. Eastern European man looking for wife. Romania, sexy señorita, can you be my aura? I want to lick face of Maria Sharapova. Romantic time in park, you can touch my bona. Cheap manual labor, it's sausage. Belarus, then drink vodka. Lithuania, we have many famous people. Tito, Nemanja Vidic, they have high testosterone and they eat spinach. Russia, Poland, Belarus, Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, Serbia, Croatia, Hungary. Eastern Europe style. Hey, sexy kurvas. Work, dream fight. Eastern Europe style. Hey, sexy kurvas. Work, dream fight. Eastern Europe style.
If you're illegal and you know it, let your hands. If you're illegal and you know it, let your hands. If you're illegal and you know it, then you get no passport, show it. If you're illegal and you know it, let your hands. If immigration didn't catch you, let your hands. If immigration didn't catch you, let your hands.